The entire premise of this film that Peter just made is that I'm faking emotional distress to stop the release of the movie so he can bully me until I take my own life.
We were all set to release the film on Amazon Prime, and then Matthew Burdick started emailing and publicly posting that if Amazon released the documentary, he would be at a high risk of suicide. So Amazon withdrew the film.
I just want the world to know that this man, Peter John Ross, has indicated in the past that he's going to bully me until I commit suicide. And I started to be concerned about this because I have a history of suicide attempts. And in my 20s, I do. I mean, you can see him attempting to bully me until I finally take my own life. That's what his intention is. And this has been said directly to me. It was said to me about 7 or 8 years ago. We are going to bully you until you commit suicide.
I have never stated or implied or hinted or said anything saying that I would stalk Matthew Burdick until he committed suicide. That simply has never happened.
I've given these people my contacts at Amazon so they can speak to them, these journalists. Amazon will tell these people very clearly that I never asked for the film to be canceled. I never asked any streaming company to take the film down. I never asked any streaming company to take the film down.
The topic of suicide is something very, very personal and meaningful to me. Someone I loved more than life itself committed suicide when I was 19 years old. And that is not something I would ever joke about, make fun of, or take lightly in any way, shape, or form. I found a police report from 2017 filed by the local big newspaper, the Columbus Dispatch. The editors had an email from Matthew stating that he was going to commit suicide on the front lawn of a major newspaper editor. Matthew Burdick has stated that he's at a high risk of suicide to the Greater Columbus Arts Council in 2020, saying that if they gave me grant money, that he would be at a higher risk of suicide.
In spite of what Mr. Ross says, I did not threaten to commit suicide. I asked them, why would you fund a film which has the potential to trigger a suicide?
It upsets me when he tells people in the court or tells law enforcement or tells newspapers that he's at a high risk of suicide and no one does anything. No one attempts to check on him, get him help. People in authority are letting this man down if he actually is suicidal.
And it was pointed out that he was trying to incite a suicide. And he posted links to the suicide hotline. It's not like there's not a big file folder of evidence from WordPress of repeated attempts to incite a suicide. It's not like there's not screenshots of people associated with people telling me to kill myself over and over and over and over again, going back all the way to 2012.
That here's someone literally saying they're going to take their own life. They don't really do anything. I mean, they'll cancel a film because that's just hit and delete on a keyboard. But what about actually getting this person mental health help? What about trying to get this person into a facility or just to talk to someone about the suicidal tendencies he claims to have? Why is nobody doing anything about this? Why is everybody just like, not my problem? It just scares the shit out of me that this guy might hurt himself and nobody seems to actually care.
I have evidence that I made no effort whatsoever to stop the release of the film. Well, everybody knows that I'm not trying to stop the film from being released. I don't know what's wrong with him in a certain way, because But it's fine, because in the end, it's going to cancel his film. It will get his film removed from everywhere. And so, anyway, we've got more cancellations of his film coming. We'll be getting to Peter. Peter is finished, essentially.
I think that anyone who talks about self-harm should be taken seriously. There should be concern and empathy for them.
Peter was already aware that I was in therapy and that I was having suicidal thoughts, and I was in therapy to not commit suicide. I yelled really loud, "I'm gonna fucking snap!" What I meant was I'm gonna snap and kill myself.
If you are friends with Matthew Burdick, you should check on him. He is talking about being at a high risk of suicide to some people and not others. Either way, that is somebody that needs your help. If you know him, if you're a family member, check on him. Make sure that he is okay.
Obviously, what he's doing is causing most of the psychological problem. It made me feel like I wanted to commit suicide, and so he started posting links to the suicide hotline.
I'm going to put some links and phone numbers in the description below for anyone that has feelings of self-harm or suicide. It is important, it is crucial to reach out and talk to someone. And you probably shouldn't call Amazon Prime or any streaming service, because that's not what they are there for.